What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys for joining each and every time you guys do decide to join me. But I got another one for you today. Yep, you saw the title, the old tank slap, the death wobble. I need to change my underwear after this ride. Yeah, that one right there. Guys, it happens to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't know why. You could go on YouTube and you'll get a lot of guys that are explaining you the death wobble but have never been in a death wobble. Well, guess who has? Yep, been in two of them as I can recall. Both of them kind of came from the same thing, guys. I'll give you my explanation real quick on what happened with me. So one time I was doing something stupid. We're carrying the front tire a little bit. I was on a sport bike. Yes, old school, back in the day. I'm carrying the front tire. When I put it down, cloud of white smoke comes off the tire because the tire stopped spinning. So now it's an abrupt. It's like I almost like spinning the front tire. And when I came down, I might not have been correct. Bike gave me a whole lot of shake. There's a lot of guys that are gonna tell you all different reasons how to get out of this shake. I'll explain it to you in a second. But only take advice from somebody who's been through it. Now, the second one. I'm at the racetrack on another sport bike. The bike leaves the line, comes in the air, comes back down, and we bounce again. That second bounce, we start to give it a shake. I save it both times. I'm gonna let you know how I save it. I'm gonna let you know what to do to prevent it. All right, so first and foremost, before you leave the house, check your tire pressure. I don't care if you just got the bike back from Harley Davidson themselves, check the tire pressure. Your bikes do not like to run with tire pressure extremely hard. So 42 pounds of pressure in each tire is kind of like pointless to me because now your contact patch on that bike is about this big. Remember, you want a wide contact patch so the bike holds the ground. Do yourself a favor. If you're not regular on maintenance, do yourself a favor and be regular on kind of washing it or wiping it down because that's when most people will notice there's a bubble in the tire, there's a nail in the tire, the threads are showing on the tire is low, something like that. Before your warning light comes on, you need to be checking those things yourself. I know a lot of guys who do not. They don't care. They ride the bike, and by the time they get home, they're like, man, look, I got thread showing in my tire. So you should check before the ride, after the ride. Second thing you should do, when you take these bikes out, at least scuff the tire a little bit. Take that bike, move it around down the street, go really slow, 5-10 miles an hour, warm the tires up, get them ready for whatever you're about to do to that bike. Those are the basics that I can tell you that will save you either a headache, flat tire, or the costly death wobble. Yeah, the costly death wobble. Now that we're on a bike, let me tell you what causes the death wobble. The death wobble is caused because the front tire and the back tire are out of sync. Somehow they will get like that. Like I said, mine were from wheelies. One wheel is not turning, the other wheel is turning. So now when I try to put them back in sync together, I get a death wobble. Uneven pavement. If you're going from high pavement to low pavement, sometimes just the weight coming down from that will give the bike a little wobble. If you don't correct it early, it's gonna send it into more wobble. And then going from low pavement up to high pavement. So if you're going over a little bump or something like that, and you're just one hand in that bike or something like that, you will catch that death wobble. Guys have so many different ways that they say you should do this, but I'm just going off experience. So when I did it, I powered through it. I grabbed that tank, I grabbed a handful of throttle and gave it to it so I could get the pressure off the front tire. Guys, when I'm going from low level concrete to high level concrete, I don't care what it is. If it's out on the road, if it's coming into the driveway, I'm gonna give it a little gas to get over. Imagine this, you're taking a wheelbarrow and you're pushing it and you see the curb coming. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna slow roll it over. You're gonna give it a little bit of force, get it over it so it's a lot easier on you. Remember, whatever happens to the front is gonna happen to the back. And if you don't have steering stabilizers and stuff like that on your Harley, that motor shakes, the frame goes one way, they're not in sync, it's going to give you a death wobble every time. Guys, I'm telling you now, is nothing to play with. It's very disturbing, to say the least. Now, ways we can correct it. A lot of people say slow down. If you come off the throttle, you know that downforce pressure that goes on the front end of you're taking a chance. A lot of guys say the death wobble can come from loose handlebars. The steering neck is very loose, just poor maintenance on those bikes, which are all very, very true situations. Guys, if you feel any flex, any movement, get it tightened up before you go out and start trying to take that ride. All right, guys, your tire pressure. Okay, I know Harley airs those tires up as hard as they can give them, 42 pounds of pressure, but that's not right for you. You got to understand, different times of the year. So if it's hot, if it's cold, you should kind of ride those tires with a different tire pressure in it. Sometimes we need the tire contact patch to be as wide as possible. So I'll lower the rear pressure in the rear tire to get more contact patch. I will never run my tire super hard, whether in the front or the back. I might put more air in the front tire than the rear, but I'm still trying to make sure there's a nice contact patch. So when I'm done riding, I know exactly how my bike is riding. Sometimes you'll get the bike up to 70, 80 miles an hour and you'll get a shake. That's because your tire pressure is off. Sometimes you have to get out and ride and see what your weight and see what your luggage, the wife on the back, and all those things got to come together to get you the right tire pressure. When you're changing out your tires, or when you notice one is worse than the other one, if you're not running the same brand of tires, switch both tires. If you're running the same brand of tire, I feel like you can get away with just changing the back or just changing the front. Always try to keep the tires in sync. The only reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes one tire has more grip, it's a little softer, and it's gonna hold the road a little bit better than another. So if you have a front tire that's a factory Harley hard tire, and you have maybe a Michelin or a Cruise Tech or something like that in a back, that back tire is gonna hold a lot harder. It's gonna give you the confidence to throw the bike, but that front end might not be able to hold up with it. When you're coming around curves on these bikes, because they're so heavy, they're gonna lean into the curve. But if you throttle these bikes, they will stand back up. That's something you have to be cautious of, because if you think too hard and you throw it and then you mash it and it sits it back up and it throws you into a wobble, if you're going around a curve, there's no more turning. Guys, that's the most common reasons why I think people go into a tank slap, death wobble, whatever you wanna call it. But as long as you are confident with your bike and you know that, everything is up to par, all the tires have been checked, the tire pressure has been checked, you shouldn't have a problem. All right, guys, so that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any questions, drop it down in the comment section. Guys, I try to take care of you as much as possible. Hit me over on the Real Official Mac. A lot of you guys do that. So if there's nothing else, I appreciate you guys for watching, joining, subscribing, liking. Till the next time, peace.